Hello everybody, Joe here. How are you this week? Coming to you with the Q&A, and this week we've been talking all about thriving. Are you thriving or are you surviving? Interesting question, because I think a lot of us these days are also busy doing life instead of being, in life and connecting with life, and just have so much on our plates. It's difficult to really notice if we're thriving at all in any area. Most are just surviving, or we're just trying to, keeping our heads above water. So the question that came to me this week from someone was, how do I thrive when my life is just so full of having to do everything that I barely am surviving? And one thing I know for sure, and I'd like to answer this question through my own personal experience and relating back to when my life was so busy and full. I had 4 children, single mom, was running my own business, and I was just literally in survival mode, just trying to keep on top of everything. On the outside, everything looked like, my life looked like I was thriving, and that was my personal self making it look that way, because I didn't want to appear weak. I didn't want to appear that I wasn't coping, all those underlying fears, and I wanted to appear confident. I wanted to appear, I had it all. I was in control of it all. But I was just busy doing, surviving. And I realized that the most important area of my life, which I was lacking, was my spiritual connection and my personal connection to myself. Now, luckily, I was definitely thriving in my physical and well-being, my physical health. That this was one of my passions. This is health and nutrition was one of my passions, and I was very blessed and lucky to be able to work in that area. So, my livelihood depended on me being 100% focused on my health and my nutrition all the time, and that actually was transferred to the children as well. So we were all very healthy, and we're keeping on top of the nutrition side of things, which is also I believe a foundation for emotional well-being as well. When you're nourished, you're feeding your mind as well, and that gives you the energy to achieve more as well. You've got more energy. You feel good, you can achieve more. And I think that's what I was doing. I was burning myself out because I did have the energy and I felt fantastic, but I was actually in overwhelm, just staying on top of everything, and I was neglecting my spiritual health, which I feel is probably the one of the most important, as well, as far as balance in your life. So recognizing now that I was actually operating from a place of pain and a place of lack of confidence, a lack of self-esteem, and I was meeting this in the world by showing that I was good enough and that I was significant enough and I could achieve all these things. Everything was looking very dandy on the outside, but unless we address, that connection with ourself and really truly getting in touch with our personal self, our authentic self, then we're really operating from a place of doing. And this can lead to neglecting our emotional well-being, which is so important, because unless you address the emotions that come up on a daily basis, acknowledge them and sit with them and let them pass, you really can, that can actually, if you don't do that, that can lead to, down the track, that can lead to a lot more pain and disease in the body. So we can talk about that further. If you are, struggling in those areas, I would love for you to touch base, because if you don't address them now, they're going to take hold in your future and could be, really, really, really detrimental to your health. So, I found, where I was going with this is, I found meditation, I found mindfulness techniques, I found a center where I could go and meditate, and that's when my real connection to the self started. I wasn't interested in having an intimate relationship at all. I was so busy with, my family and doing what I had to do in my business. But having that connection with myself was more significant at this point. Having that relationship with myself was far more empowering than a relationship with a significant other. And when I found that knowing of myself and operating from that place of knowing, that place of truth, that's when my whole life changed. And practicing that on a daily basis, so giving to yourself first so that you can actually give to everything else in your life is priority, is absolutely imperative for emotional well-being, physical well-being, all of that stuff, and thriving in all areas, because everything you do is is about connecting with you and who you are, and using the tools that we've been talking about over the weeks to connect back to yourself. If you don't have time to meditate, if you don't have time, if you're using all these excuses. And I was actually only saying to a girl yesterday, I think it was, one of my clients, we know what to do. And if we all just did what we know what works, then life would be so much easier. What is it? What is the resistance in you that's stopping you from doing the things that you know that works? And connecting, is it, connecting with that to actually clear that. And that's what I'm here for, to help you to acknowledge what's happening within yourself and helping you work through that process to find your authentic self and keeping you accountable. Like having someone there, like me having a coach, having someone to be accountable to, even in my meditation practice, and having things I had to do every week before I went back to that class every week, is so imperative for personal growth and personal development, and that peace and calm in your life. There's so many benefits to meditation. I just challenge you to actually take 5-10 minutes a day to sit in silence and really just breathe into that place and connect with yourself and see what comes up. And then that's your opportunity to grow and evolve and work through all those areas that I was talking about, all the pain and all the suffering that I was trying to avoid by going out into the world and just doing. Yeah. So I am going to leave it there because I think that's enough. But reach out, let's chat, book a chat with me. 30 minutes just to see where you're at, check in with your emotions and check in with where you can go to really put you in the direction of thriving in your life. And have a wonderful week. Love to all, and from my heart to yours, thrive. Bless you. Bye bye.